What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Shocker Racing Garage. I'm here with Tom, aka Blue JL, and we've got a little project we're doing today on their Jeep. Basically what's happened is, as everybody knows, these stock steel bumpers on the JLs are kind of a weak spot, right? They're kind of known for kind of when you hit a rock or coming down on a rock, right? It's gonna push up into the body. As you can see here already, they've got a little damage from when we were in Moab, where this bumper flexed and kind of pushed into the body. Luckily, they've got the clear bra there that kind of protected it. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be installing the ARS Adventure Rack systems made by Metalcloak. This is their bumper bracket for reinforcing the bumper bracket. Now, it's not necessarily intended for this purpose. No. They built it for their rack system, right?
System, taking the weight basically from that bumper bracket, making it stronger. So it can hold a lot of weight.
So we're hoping that we're going to get a different benefit out of it, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to use the jack and kind of jack up on the bumper, see how much it flexes just jacking up on it, and then we're going to put this on, and hopefully it's going to strengthen things up, and otherwise we won't really know until we get it out on the trails and smash it on some rocks.
Sounds good to me.
So let's get this going here. We'll see what happens with the jack. All right, so what we're noticing is this side of the bumper, you can see where it kind of falls along the body line. We're noticing that this side of the bumper is already kind of tweaked up from clearly when he hit it and pushed it into the body. It's already up a bit here, but when we're jacking it, we're noticing it's getting even closer. It's not going to be enough to push it in to kind of simulate what happens when it smashes on a trail, but if you want to go ahead and jack that up real quick, Tom, we'll see that it does get closer and does flex for sure. Basically, we can see and hear that there is a lot of movement in this bumper, which, like I said, if you smash it and it takes a harder hit, it's going to push right up into the body. So fortunately, the jack test is not going to show us exactly what we were hoping to see, but hopefully when we get these brackets in, this won't move at all. So basically, this kit includes your hardware, and you've got 2 bracket pieces for each side of the Jeep. Right now, Tom is working on removing the plastic here in the wheel well. Get that out of the way so we can get to the goods. So to remove this plastic, it's just literally just three screws that are right up in here. Where's the third one? It's
one, and then there's 2 back there.
2 back up in there. So Tom's removing the 16 millimeter bolts for this bracket. So there's 4 of them, right? So we still got to remove this one in here. You got the bottom one out there, and then 2 here. That's going to release this bracket here. So that whole piece is going to be removed permanently, right, Tom?
Yep. So this bracket just holds on that plastic trim piece we already took off.
And there it is. So this piece here that we just removed is pretty much getting replaced by this beefy thing. You can see the difference clear as day there, and then that's an additional support bracket, right, Tom?
Yeah, that goes to the bumper further back here.
Okay, so next we need to take off these 2 nuts here for the bumper, and those 16s as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So they include these spacers here to go on both of these bolts that we just took the nuts off of. So we'll put those up in there, and then we can start with the bracket stuff. Okay, so before you start installing anything, you need to remove these nut clips here, and we'll probably need a flathead screwdriver or something to pry these out of here. All right, so yeah, we just used a flathead screwdriver here to pry in on this. This one might be a little harder because it does call for removing this plastic piece right here.
Yeah, it does want us to remove that.
Not taking it off just yet, as long as we can get these out. All right, so we couldn't get the screwdriver in here to pop this off with that plastic piece on, so was it 3 screws?
Yeah.
So we just took off the 3 screws so we could pop this guy off, and I guess that'll make it easier for us to work anyways. So Tom's using the factory hardware to put this side in. I already slid this bracket up in here onto the spacers, and then you're going to take the supplied bolts, and those are going to come through from the back side. So what we figured out, the easiest way to get this bracket in with the bolts in place is to put them in with a little piece of tape and then slide them up in there, and then you're able to get it on both these bolts here and get those pushed through. So once we did that, we were able to slide this bracket up behind this little plate here and push the bolts through, and then we're able to add the nuts on the outside here. Then we put these nuts on here, and all we got to do is snug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts up and put the plastic back together. So snug these ones up with a 3/4, and then these are the 16 again. So both of these factory nuts and these factory nuts are all still the 16s. The only one that's different are the new supplied hardware, which are 3/4. All right, so here it is all bolted down. It actually looks pretty cool in there, being the Metalcloak gold or whatever you call that there. Definitely looks beefy. I mean, this bumper does not seem like it's moving anywhere now, so we'll test it out with the jack and just see if it moves. You can see that this body line moved back down when we loosened the bolts up, so the bumper kind of moved back into position where it should have been, and then we tightened it all down, so hopefully it'll stay here. All right, so Tom's wrapping up the driver's side one now here. So really the hardest part that's been on both of these is getting the back bracket in place and being able to get these bolts through with the nuts on. Just takes a little contorting yourself and getting your hand up in there and getting those on, and then just tightening it down. But otherwise, these haven't been too bad to install. Pretty straightforward once you see how everything works. So we finished up the install, not too hard, just the hardest part was getting those bolts in. But other than that, not too bad at all. Definitely seems like it is going to be beefing up the bracketry that's holding this bumper in place. So we're going to try and jack on it again, see if the bumper moves at all. And that'll be our only test for now until we can actually get this thing off-road again, and if Tom stops being a mall crawler. Sorry. All right, let's see if this thing moves at all. I saw very little flex in there, but it didn't seem like it was
not as
like
much
fully
as
moved
time.
And not as close there. You want to go ahead and lower it down, and let's see if we can see it. So not much different there. No. Not much movement. Let's give it a try on the other side too, just for the hell of it. All right, we're gonna try it on the driver's side, which we didn't try before, but we just wanna see. It definitely does not seem like it's moving here. This gap hasn't changed much at all. Oh yeah. Yeah, that did not really move at all. So hopefully this will solve this problem. Again, we won't know for sure until we get this thing off-road.
We'll see.
But I'd say safe to say for now,
I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, definitely much better than what was going on there. Definitely a little bit more reinforcement. So we're going to try one more time on this side a little further out just to see if it tweaks it and kind of twists it in more. Yeah, it's definitely way better than it was. See a little wiggle there when you do that, but hopefully it'll be enough to stop it from pushing into the body now. All right, so that's gonna wrap things up for this stock rear metal bumper reinforcement brace from Adventure Rack Systems. So I will be sure to put a link to this product on their website in the description below, so make sure you check that out if this is something that interests you. We're really, fingers crossed, hoping that this is gonna solve a problem, or at least add a little bit more protection from those falls onto rocks when you're wheeling. So hopefully that'll do the trick. If you like this video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.